Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Government when the final design for the dualling of the A9 Perth to Inverness road between the Pass of Burnham and the Tay Crossing will be published.
Cabinet Secretary.
The design work for this challenging section of the A9 is continuing following a community creative process. This process has helped us form an extremely positive working relationship with the local community and broaden the vision for dualling this section of the A9. An announcement on the preferred route option is expected to be made in the coming months, after which the preferred option will be further refined, developed and assessed before commencement of the statutory process.
Wendell Fraser.
Can I thank the Cabinet Secretary for his response? The community in Dunkeld and Burnham, and indeed other road users of the A9, have now been waiting 8 years to see a finalised design for this section. I know there's been extensive engagement with the local community, but that ceased many months ago, and we still haven't seen a finalised plan that we were expecting by the end of last year. So can the Minister be more specific as to when exactly we will see a finalised design being published, and perhaps more importantly, when can we expect the works to be done on completing the dual carriageway in this section?
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, the member will recognise that having gone through a co-creative process with the local community who have identified a preferred route option that they would choose, we have to compare that against other potential route options, of which there are 3 others alongside that which is being considered by or supported by the local community. That piece of work and that assessment work is ongoing at the present time. Once it has been completed by officials, we should then be in a position to set out our preferred route option. And as I mentioned in my response, it will then be, we will then communicate that, and I hope to be able to do that in the coming months. The final aspect in relation to the procurement process, that we'll have to go through the orders process first of all before that piece of work can be undertaken, which is obviously a statutory process. And once that has been completed, we will then look at the procurement process for this particular aspect of the A9.
And supplementary, Fergus Ewing.
Presiding Officer, even now, the Transport Scotland website says that dualling of the A9 between Perth and Inverness will be completed by 2025. If that happens, Presiding Officer, I will go out and purchase a hat in order to be able to eat it. Seriously, do we not owe an apology to the people of the Highlands and Scotland because we will not achieve that target? Should we not come clean? And above all, Cabinet Secretary, when will we bring forward full details, a fresh timetable and full details of how we will implement one of our longest-standing pledges we have ever made?
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, I recognise Mr Ewing's long-standing interest in this and want to reassure him of the Government's long-standing and ongoing commitment to the dualling of the A9. There are a number of factors which are being taken into account at the present moment in terms of the procurement process for the next section which we were looking to dual, which has been impacted by COVID and has also been quite significantly impacted by the very significant levels of construction inflation which is now being experienced. And we're also having to now look at, in particular, because of some of the economic challenges we have, the potential procurement approach that we take forward in procuring this particular aspect. So we are looking at taking forward further procurement in the months ahead, and I can assure him that we're also looking at the forward timetable for the programme as we go forward in the years ahead.
Thank you, Cabinet Secretary.